Hello, future engineers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're still new to my channel and you like what I'm doing, please don't forget to share my videos to your friends and to your friends' friends. To your younger brothers and sisters who would want to take up engineering in the future, and to your relatives. That's one way you can keep me going, inspired, and refreshed. Now, if you find my videos interesting and important to your studies, also please don't forget to subscribe. Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is another video on calculus, particularly on functions and their graphs. I hope that this video will help you in your studies. Express the function by a formula and draw the graph, indicating that portion of the graph which has a meaning in the problem. So, so for part 1, the amount of $1 at 6% simple interest as a function of time, the volume of a sphere as a function of the radius. Part 3, the radius of a sphere as a function of the volume. Part 4, the volume of a cube as a function of the length of an edge. Part 5, the surface area of a cube as a function of the length of an edge. Part 6, the length E of an edge of a cube as a function of the surface area A sub s of the cube. 7. The surface area of a cube as a function of the volume of a cube. And 8. Temperature in degree Fahrenheit as a function of temperature in degree centigrade. So for part 1, we learned from algebra and in economy that simple interest is principal rate of simple interest times time, or I equals PRT, where P is $1 in this case, R is 0.06, and T is the variable time in years. So I equals $1 0.06T or 0.06T. So the graph is aligned, so I as a function of time is 0.06 of T. So the graph of this is when time is 0, I is 0, and when time is T, I is 0.06T, so it is just a straight line as shown in the figure. So what is the important thing is it passes through this time is 0, I is 0. Then the volume of a sphere as a function of the radius. The volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, and you should know that from solid geometry or from preceding experience. So that's the volume of a sphere, and in this course it should be derived that the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed when you reach integral calculus as a tool. But as of the moment, you should be able to familiar or memorize the volume of a sphere 4/3 pi r cubed. So therefore, because volume as a function of radius is 4/3 pi r cubed, it is a cubic function. This is constant, so it looks like that. And when r is 0, it is also 0. So the graph should look like that. Then 3, the radius of a sphere as a function of volume. So from here, radius is, because this is r cube, cube root of 3 times volume over 4 pi. So radius is cube root of 3 times volume over 4 pi. And the graph should look like that. The volume on the horizontal axis. So it is like the reflection of this graph about this line 45 degrees, so it looks like that, the graph. So the volume increases rapidly, but R increases at a slower rate also. So that's why it should look like that. So for instance, if we have R is 0 when the volume is 0, R is, let us say, 1 when the volume is 1, then R is 2 when the volume, when this value is about 8. So that's why it should look like that. Then the volume of a cube as a function of the length of an edge. Volume of a rectangular parallelepiped is length times width times height. And since for a cube L is equal to the width and width is equal to the height equal to E, so the volume is just E cube, and the graph is like this. So volume equals edge cube, and the graph looks like this. So volume is E cube, or volume as function of the edge is E cube. Fifth, the surface area of a cube as a function of the length of an edge. A cube has 6 faces, and each face is a square. The area of a square is edge square. And since there are 6 faces, the surface area therefore is area S is 6 times E square. So area sub S is 6 times E square, and the graph is open up like that. When edge is 0, it is 0. When the edge is 1, it is square root of 6. It increases. Then when the edge is square root of 6, then area S is 6. So it is open upward like this, but a bit expanded rightward. So it's like that. Then number 6, the length edge of a cube as a function of the surface area S of the cube. So it is from here, the edge is square root of area S over 6. So edge is square root of area S over 6. That's the edge in terms of the surface area. And the graph is like, again, the reflection about the line y equals x. So it is open to the right, like that. Then the surface area of a cube as a function of the volume. So surface area is 6 times E square. The volume is edge cube. So that means the edge is cube root of volume. So since the edge is cube root of volume, we substitute it here. So area S is 6 times cube root of volume, or volume to the 1/3 square. So area S is 6 times V to the 2/3. So the graph looks like this also. So it is plotted as shown. Sorry, it looks like that. So the volume should increase rapidly, area S, also because of the constant 6. So when the volume is 8 cubic units, then 8 to the 2/3 is 4. So times 6 is 24. So it should look like that. Then temperature in degree Fahrenheit as a function of temperature in degree Celsius. So we use the important data. The freezing point is 0 degree Celsius and 32 degree Fahrenheit, while the boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius and 212 degree Fahrenheit. Then the absolute zero is obtained when C is negative 273, and for degree Fahrenheit negative 460, for negative 459.6, but rounded off up to negative 460. So you should know that. So that's the plot. It's a straight line, and we have 0, 32 degree Fahrenheit, that point, and 100 to 112 degree Fahrenheit. And in general, we have a point here at C, F, and these values would be negative 273, negative 460. So by equating slopes, F minus 32 over C minus 0 equals to 112 minus 32 over 100 minus 0. So F minus 32 over C minus 0 equals to 112 minus 32 over 100 minus 0. 180 over 100 is 1.8. Then transpose this to the right, plus 32. So F is 1.8 C plus 32. So that's the graph. That's the relationship between F and C. And this is the graph. So that's it for this video. I hope that you learn something out of this video, and these functions are important later on, though I know that some of you already familiar these functions, especially the formulas.